Assalamu alaikum. This video will help you in understanding that how can you find the area of parallelograms. Look at the figure. This figure is basically a rectangle, and the name of this rectangle is ABCD. In this rectangle, AB is width of this rectangle and BC is length of this rectangle. As you can notice that both these two angles, that is B and C, are making 90 degrees over here. So we can replace the length and width by the words height and base of this rectangle. Since we know that when we are taking the areas, we take the height as perpendicular height of the given shape. So perpendicular height of this rectangle will be BC and its base will be taken as AB. And we know that area of a rectangle is length multiplied by breadth. In this case, as we have replaced length and breadth by height and base, so the area of this rectangle will be will be height into base. If you observe in this figure, the height is marked as 5 and base is marked as 8. So area of this particular rectangle will be 5 multiplied by 8, that is 40 square units. If these two will be in centimeters, then it will be centimeter square. If they will be in meters, it will be meter square. Whatever the units will be there, the unit will take a square as we are calculating the area. We can also observe the same rectangle is drawn over there. I have changed the name of the same rectangle over here, and I have shaded a little portion over here. Observe that I have already marked a dotted line in this rectangle as AE, right? Basically, if you will cut out this AE, and if you will, after cutting it out by scissors, and if you will place this ADE over here, you will notice that ABCD will be a parallelogram, and that parallelogram is obtained by cutting out this portion of the rectangle and fixing it over there. So it means that the same rectangle is now being transformed into a parallelogram, right? I have shaded this portion to indicate that I have taken this part and I have pasted it on the other side of this rectangle to make it a parallelogram. And you can observe that this height BC is also present over here as DE, right? DE is the same, that is 5, and the base is the same, that is 8. So we can say that the parallelogram ABCD has the same exact area as the area of that rectangle. Now if I am going to find it out that what is the area of that particular rectangle, again, since as I have stated this argument in the beginning, that area is basically perpendicular height multiplied by base. So the perpendicular height of this rectangle is DE, which is 5, and its base is 8, which is AD. AD is 8. Now the area of the same parallelogram will be again 40 square units, right? So on the basis of this argument that if we are given a parallelogram, we can also find the area in this way, that we should find out its perpendicular height and the base, and by multiplying perpendicular height and base of the parallelogram, we can easily calculate the area of a parallelogram. Now look at the example, the next example. You can observe that I have drawn a dotted line over here indicating the height of this parallelogram, and this 12 is indicating the base of the parallelogram. If I am interested in finding the area of this parallelogram, I must multiply its base and the perpendicular height. I have shown 90 degree over here to show this, that these two things are perpendicular to each other. So it means that this part can be taken as perpendicular height and this part can be taken as base of this given parallelogram. So we can say that area of this parallelogram will be perpendicular height multiplied by its base. So 5 multiplied by 12, because perpendicular height is 5 and base is 12. So 5 multiplied by 12 is 60. So its result will be 60 unit square. Now observe another parallelogram. In this parallelogram, I have shown that perpendicular height can be drawn in this way also from the other side. So this side is marked as 5, so that will be taken now as base, and this can be taken as the perpendicular height of this parallelogram. Again, if we are interested in finding the area of this parallelogram, we should multiply the perpendicular height, which is 12, by its base, which is 5. So area of this parallelogram will be again 60 units square. Whatever the units will be given, we can calculate it in the we can write it over there. Now look at the last parallelogram which I have drawn over here. In this parallelogram, this line can be taken as base and this line can be taken as perpendicular height. Remember, I have started from one of the corner between the parallel lines of this parallelogram. Now I have taken one of the corner and I have dragged that perpendicular height to the other side of this parallelogram to find its height, right? So height will always be, look over here, that these are the two parallel sides and these are the other two parallel sides. So I have taken the height from one of the end and I'm dragging it to the other side, which is between the two parallel sides, these two parallel sides. Likewise, this from this end I am starting it and I am dragging it to these two parallel sides, and the same is happening in this one and in this one, that whenever I am taking the perpendicular height, I am taking that height from one of the corner and I am dragging it to the other side, which are parallel to each other. Dragging from one of the corner and taking it to the other side, which are parallel to each other, to find the perpendicular height. And that height is also making 90 degree with the other side from to which I am taking it. So the same is can be taken over here, that this line can be taken as its perpendicular height. Now in this case, if I am going to find area, the perpendicular height will be 4 and the base will be 6 and its area will be 4 into 6, that is 24 centimeter, whatever the unit is there, will be placed over here if it is given to us. So hope that this video will help you in understanding that how can we find the area of parallelograms. Thank you. Jazakallah.